Alright, so I tried to record this yesterday, but it was really awkward and weird because I haven't recorded a video in like 2 years. Yeah, I don't really know where to start. There's so much to tell you, but I know if I try and tell you all in one video, then I'll just ramble for ages. So yeah, basically the RX8 died. I was coming home from work one day and I just had like power loss and it was cutting in and out. Kind of wasn't sounding great, but no like catastrophic engine failure or anything like that, but it definitely was not good. So as you've probably caught a glimpse of, we have a new heart. I don't really know how to make it suspenseful and all cinematic. This is it, RB25DET NEO. It's fresh from Japan. Osaka Imports got it in for me. Well, they already had it and I grabbed it. I was pretty lucky because other people have been trying to get them and not having much luck, and for a good price, so I'm pretty stoked. Yeah, the plan is for that to go in there. The RX8's been dead for about, I don't know, probably 6-7 months, and I had that for a little bit, but then that's not going either. I think that needs a new starter. It didn't disengage while I was driving and just like annihilated it and made all sorts of noises. But I'll go into more detail with that another time. I should be working on that and getting rid of it, to be honest, because I don't have the room. But who would want to work on that when we've got this here? What are you doing? Yeah, so he got here and I still had the engine crane or engine hoist in the box, so I had to quickly whack it together. It's all wrong. The wrong wheels are on the wrong places and it's terrible, and half the bolts aren't even tight. It was just to get it off the back of the truck, so I need to pull that apart again and rebuild it properly. Well, mostly pull it apart. And the thing is, I don't have an engine stand, which is a bit of a pain for now. I mean, I'll get one shortly, but I figure while this is out and I got plenty of time, it's going to be a long while until it needs to even go in. I've still got to pull the Renesis out of the RX8. I think just for safety's sake, and while I've got it out, I'll do everything not everything, but a lot of things that would be a pain in the ass if I had to do them while once it's in the car. I definitely need to do a head drain. I might as well do as much as I can while it's out and it's easy to get to. I got all sorts of goodies in here. I don't have any tools anymore, unfortunately. I can't even remember what happened to them all, but I got some Allen keys and a tarp to cover the engine with because it's so damn dusty in here. A wire brush for cleaning up manky parts. Some duct tape for covering holes to prevent dust getting in them. Some brake cleaner. Some black low gloss. I hope this is going to turn out the way I want, but yeah. Paisley playing in the used engine oil. What are you doing?
Oil?
Yeah, yuck, don't touch it. Yeah, so I'll tell you later what I'm doing with that, but I got 2 cans of that. I got everyone's favorite tool, Paisley. I got some masking tape for painting. I got some more wire brushes, some small ones for getting in those annoying spots. I got a crescent or shifter or adjustable wrench, whichever one you call it, and some degreaser, and Paisley's got a 22mm spanner because I didn't have one of those, and I also got a 21 because I didn't have one of those. Oh man, I'm old, my knees. So yeah, that was a quick trip to the warehouse and super cheap. That's expensive quickly, but all good. I needed all those things, so I'm glad I did it. Really, I should be pulling the starter motor out of that, but that's no fun because it's front wheel drive and there's no room. And then second priority probably should be, don't worry about me scratching that, I don't care, because it's not going to be silver, it's not going to be this colour through it. Really, I should be getting that out of there. This, all I want to do is play with this. I want to take this intake and shit off and clean it all up, give it a good degrease and scrub it and whatnot and tidy it all up. But the thing is, I need to do this because I can't move it otherwise. So what I should do first is hook into this, change the wheels around, because there's a couple of smaller wheels that I was just in such a rush that they just ended up wherever, and there's bolts that aren't in yet and stuff, because it was safe. Like, it was fine, don't worry. I've got the wheels all sorted now. They're all in the right place instead of different size ones on the corners, so it was all unstable. Now I just gotta put some washers on some of these bolts and tighten them up, tighten this brace up, and she's good. Well, she's in the middle of the floor now, so I guess there's nothing left to do apart from hook into it. A few drinks deep, what could go wrong? So I've managed to get all the main loom and the ECU off, and then I've taken the alternator and the fan, and the first thing I found was the fan belts pretty starting to fray there, so you know this is why I didn't want to just chuck it straight in. And then I came around to see the J-pipe was still on, but it was, the end was open, it wasn't taped off or anything. And I'll grab my phone. If you look inside the throttle body, that is some horrible shit. That's some like dusty, dirty, gritty fucking, sorry for the language. It's bad news. It's not good, but what I think it is, definitely it feels like a build-up of dust and shit that's just been, because this has been sitting in a warehouse and whatnot, and that's all just built up and blown inside. But I don't think that it was there the last time the engine was running. I think the butterfly and the throttle body has been closed the entire time that's been there, so I just need to carefully clean all that out. And when I get the manifold off, I'll make sure there's nothing on that side of the butterfly, but yeah, I think it's all good. Alright, so it's the next day. Last night I kind of just plodded along slowly, had way too many drinks, and appreciated the fact that I'm working on an RB. So I'm basically just going to continue taking the intake side off, the fuel rail and the rest of the manifold, so I can take it right down, clean up the block, paint it. Yeah, I guess I'll just keep filling yours in as I go. I mean, pulling it down like this is all pretty self-explanatory. Not that I'm an expert, but it's definitely going to be a mish for me. Like, I know some stuff, but this is the first RB I've ever had my hands on. And you can learn as much as you want on the internet, but it's not until you actually work with something that you start to learn. And I have kind of, you know, connected a few dots just looking at it and going, oh yeah, okay. It makes more sense for me anyway when I can see it in front of me. So as I kind of pick stuff up, I'll share it with you. I'm definitely not going to preach, because you know I'm 100% learning. This is my first time around the track, well, with an RB anyway. So as I'm pulling it down like this, you know, there's not a lot to show you, so I'll just kind of fill you in as I go. But once I'm, you know, kind of venturing into unknown territory, putting it back together and stuff, then I'll go a lot more into detail. I basically want to document the whole thing, because I've seen a lot of people have, well, a few people have started to do this swap, but there's pretty much no documentation on it, so I'll try to get something out there for people doing this in the future. So I imagine it's going to become more popular as like S and R chassis and that all just skyrocket in price. This is a big part of why I wanted to, you know, take back a lot of the stuff and rip it off and have a look over. I mean, so far I could have just got this and dropped it like straight in without doing anything pretty much and gone from there. And I mean, so far I've found that crud in the throttle body. I found the frayed fan belt down here. I think I showed you last night. And now, I mean, none of these are too major apart from the crap in the throttle body, but I don't know if you can see this on the injector, the wiring harness. I pulled the plug out, and the first one's just, the terminals are all covered in crap, which is, you know, they're all little things that are gonna, they may never be anything, but they're all little things that could potentially give you problems and leave you scratching your head for ages trying to work shit out. So I'm really glad I did this. This light's terrible even with my third light that I bought today. Look at the crud behind the O-ring of that injector. It's yeah, not good. Smell that. JDM fuel. Not bad. Time walk again is the next tonight. Yeah, anyway, I'll show you. I didn't really do anything more. I just masked up the intake there, the intake ports, so that no crap gets in there, obviously. So it's pretty disgusting where that valve cover's been leaking down onto there. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. Look, I had to tidy up. I figured I want it to be, even though it's a tiny little box, it'll be some kind of respectable for a workshop. The floors are nice and tidy. Got my pile of goodies there. Just put my very limited tools and my lotions and potions and whatnot up here, and table and chairs, and she's all pretty cozy. My God, I just about dropped the GoPro. I think, so what I'm going to do turbo wise is a place called Rapid Performance south of where I live. They're based in Timaru, I believe. They do basically an exchange kind of system where they take this turbo, and then for around the $1,100-$1,200 mark, I think it is, they give you a record stock turbo, which they claim, and I mean, I've seen the dynograph is good for about 500 horsepower on the stock turbo, just with, I think it's the whole set internals. And so I think that's definitely the cheapest option. I could go and blow massive money, but like, you know, I don't want to go too crazy. The main goal is to actually get out on the track and be drifting. I don't want to blow all the money here, but I do want to do what I can while it's out, you know, and I definitely want to have everything that's auxiliary taken, you know, just look at as much as I can before I go thrashing it. But yeah, and then I'm looking at the Osaka garage forward facing plenum. I've heard good things. I've always watched Sam. It seems like a genuine guy, you know, feel like you can trust them. So I swear I know exactly what I'm going to say to you guys, and then I go to say it and I just can't get the words out. But when you've been like, once I've done a couple of videos, I'll get back in the flow of it. But so basically what I think I'll do is I'll try and upload twice a week. I don't have much time during the week to work on this, but on the weekends I will. So I'll work on it on the weekends, and then probably upload a video on Tuesdays, I think, with this stuff. And then I've been on the sim a lot on Assetto Corsa, so then I think maybe like Friday nightish, I might, each week I'll upload an Assetto video. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but yeah, so basically hopefully 2 videos a week, one hands-on in real life stuff and the other sim stuff. So I kind of assume that everyone that's interested in drifting is at least has a slight interest in the sim stuff, or most people anyway. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy the Assetto videos, but I'll try and make them, you know, somewhat entertaining. I think sim is, you know, it's never going to be 100% realistic. People are like, oh, it's not realistic, but it is. It's very close, but you're never going to have the G-forces and that feeling through your ass, basically. But that sounded wrong. The feeling through your seat, or just, you know what I'm trying to say. That's never going to be there, but as far as muscle memory, learning tracks, kind of just the basic motions and the timing and the coordination, I think it's good to at least teach you the basics and to keep you sharp. So I really like it, and I want to try and share that with you guys. Anyways, I better get going before I ramble too much. Oh, there's my thumb. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. If not, like, dislike, whatever you thought, let me know. Open to suggestions. Sweet. Catch us in the next one. Cheers, guys.